What is up, Tube? I am back with more gel testing videos. Nothing I like better than playing with my balls. Maybe I should say that different. And nothing I love more than a good gel ball squashing. Anyway, as you can see here, we've got a selection of gels. These are all of the Ghost or hardened, ultra hard, very hard, tenacious, weight hard variety. Now, last video I did of these, I compared the Gladiators and the Ultras, and for some reason I got a lot of conspiracy theorists saying that I'd been paid off by Ozgel to make the Ozgels better or something, some lunacy like that. Fact of the matter is that the scales are the scales. I don't alter the scales. I can't. It's not possible for me to do that. Even if I did want to, for whatever reason I would want to do that, I can't. The other thing is that I don't even, if I remember the video that I made, I don't even remember saying that the Ultras were better than the Gladiators. In fact, if I recall my results, I recall kind of coming to the conclusion they were both pretty much the same. Add on to that I actually paid for these Ultras, and the Gladiators were provided to me from Command Elite Hobbies. So, you know, if I was going to bias anything, you'd think that I would bias the ones that I was provided for free as opposed to the ones that I had to pay for. So, on that note, full disclosure, these were provided to me, these I paid for, these were provided to me, these I paid for, and these I paid for. Why do I have two AKAs, you might ask? That's the next thing. You can see here, I don't know if you can see, this one actually says AKA on it, and this one has no marking on it at all. I've been told that this no marking batch is a newer batch of the AKAs, so apparently they're different. Also, these Ultras, I've been told, are a newer batch than the old ones as well that I had. So I've got the latest batch of everything except for these ones, which are the original AKAs, but I thought I'd throw them in there just to compare that to that, and let's get it all started, shall we? I'm going to first of all I'm going to put a selection, no, first of all I'm going to get some out and measure them and compare them dehydrated to see what they look like when they're dehydrated, because I think a lot of the time when you look at them dehydrated, you can see some differences between them, so it automatically sort of helps you determine that they are not the same. So we'll have a look at them dehydrated so we can see the differences. I'll just have to open these up. Alright, I'll try and get one from each. So we can compare dehydrated. Just going to put them on this little bottle because it's convenient so they don't roll away. One thing I do like about the Gladiators and the Ultras, they come in a little Ziploc baggie, so after you've opened them, you can sort of close them off if you need to for whatever reason. I mean, most people I guess would just open them up, hydrate them all, and then sort of that's the end of the story. But I don't know, I tend to do little tests and stuff, so sometimes I like to just get a small sample out to test and then put them away again, whatever. Alright, that's the X-Force ones. New AKs. And old AKs. Alright, let's get in there and have a close-up look. Alright, well, here you have them. We got the Gladiators and the Ultras, both looking quite translucent and very similar looking. And then you've got the X-Force Black Label, the new Tenacious Weight Hards, and the old AKA Tenacious Weight Hards. Now, just on appearances, dehydrated. The old and new AKAs look virtually identical to me. The X-Force looks, if anything, I'd say it looks similar but a touch bigger. I'm going to get my verniers to get some measurements. Okay, so this is going to be difficult, I guess. I'll probably have to do this on the bench. Okay, about 2.6 for the X-Force. Let's get this old one. 2.58 for the old AKA. 2.59 for the new AK. Thought I could pick it up there with a vernier, but no. Osgel 2.93, and Gladiator 2.94. So, just on measurements and appearances, the two Ultra and Gladiators appear very, very similar, and the other three, the AKAs and the X-Force, also appear very similar. That's dehydrated. Hydrated, sorry, off camera a little bit. That's dehydrated. Hydrated is a different story. I've seen gels that look the same when dehydrated, but when hydrated are completely different. So that's what's coming up next. We're going to hydrate some of these. So I'm going to put a sample of each into some demineralized water, into each of these labeled cups. And then we're going to hydrate them. So, yeah, let's do that. I'll, okay. I don't know exactly how many. I'm just getting a little scoop of. A lot of people ask me how many are in a bag. I think I don't know. That's a good question. I think I weighed a full bag of gladiators at 80 grams or something like that. I'm gonna get my scale. We'll check it. Okay. So, plus or minus the scoop that I've taken out. Let me just do a mode. What's the mode? It's difficult for me to actually do it where you can see. It's about 80 grams. I don't know if you can see the screen, but it's measuring 75 grams, but I've taken a couple of scoops out of this. So when I measured it when it was full, I recall it being 80 grams. So yeah, just keep that in mind. The Ultras, 90 grams minus the scoop that I took out of that. The X-Force, 81 grams. This is also including the packet, of course, which has a weight 81 grams. It is just a thin plastic, so it's probably not that. And I don't know. I've taken quite a bit out of these, so I don't know that the weight's going to be. Yeah, that's 56 grams, but I've already I've used quite a few of those, so that's not worth weighing. Alright, so 80 grams in the Gladiators, 90 grams in the Armatech, and I think the rest of them were 80, weren't they? 80? Yeah, 80, 81, 82, thereabouts, give or take a gram. So what I might actually do is weigh some of these when they're not hydrated, so we can get an idea on how many you get in a bag. If that's entertainment for you. Now, I'm just going to grab 10 of these. So 0.22 grams. So that is obviously 0.022 grams per. It's actually gone up to 2.6. Obviously a grain of dust landed in the bowl or something. Either way, 0.026 grams or thereabouts. So now if you divide 80 grams by 0.02627, it's going up. Maybe I'm breathing on it too heavily over here. Roughly 3,000 in a pack of gladiators. If we do the same thing with the Ultras, alright. Alright, let's try and get them roughly in the middle of the scale. Okay, 0.19, which is 0.019, which is very close. Well, now it's 0.02. Very close to what the Gladiators weighed for this particular sample group. So they were 90 grams there. 90 grams divided by, what was it, 0.026. we'll call it. So 4,500 in the ultras, roughly, give or take a freaking gram here or there, whatever. It's consistency. 0.22, which is interesting because the weight of the X-Force for 10 is about the same as the Ultras and the Gladiators, despite the fact that they actually are smaller in appearance. Yeah, that was mind-blowing for me. Hope it was as good for you as it was for me. Alright, do the same for the AKAs. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, 10. And the result is 0.24. So plus or minus consistency, again, about the same, 0.02 of a gram. Alright, so I think on average you can say you get 3,000 to 4,000 gels per bag on all of these. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to sit down and count every single gel that's in the bag, but yeah, I don't know, it should give you a rough idea. They used to come in bags of 10,000 and they used to say 10,000 on them, and for some reason now they're not coming in bags that tell you how many are in them. So yeah, it looks like 3,000 to 4,000 is roughly what you're gonna get in these new hardened gels. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, I have put them into little cups here. I actually probably could put a bit more in the X-Force cup because it's looking like it's got a little less than everyone else. Alright, so now I will add some demineralized water to all of the cups, and then I'll see you in 4 hours. Let me get the water. Alright. Alright, yeah, 4 hours. See you then. Alright, we are 4 hours later, and here are the gels. I'm going to drain them out and drop some on the floor. Drop some on the floor. Alright, I'm going to drain them out and then we'll continue on with some testing. Alright, so here we are. I'm just going to clear this up a little bit. I'll get rid of these bags in a sec because, I mean, we know what they are. They're marked on the things. You may see that the cups for these three are a little bit more full than these two, and I probably attribute that to these ones being a little bit bigger when they're dehydrated. So the scoop that I used to make the measurements that I put in probably would have fit more of these. That's neither here nor there, but just pointing out things that people may want to know. I'm just going to clear this bench so that I can get the Crossmatron 4000 out. Before I do any crushing, what I might just do is do some hydrated weights. So I'll get 10 of each. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, 2.26 grams. Now we'll do the ultras. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Try and get them all in the middle as much as possible. 2.23, 2.22 the ultras. Now the X-Force Black Label. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh jeez. Alright, what have I got on here? These are slippery little suckers. Alright, so it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2.22. And now the new batch of the AKAs, not branded AKA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2.19. Oh, 2.2. And now the old batch of AKAs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2.24 thereabouts. Did anyone else find it interesting that they were all like about 10 times the weight that they were when they were dehydrated? I found that interesting. Anyway, moving on, they all weigh about the same, roughly give or take a 0.01 of a gram or something. Let's crush them. Let's crush some. Alright, if you've watched this before, you might be familiar with this apparatus. It is the Crossmatron 4000. Here we go, let's crush some gels. 6.8 for the first Gladiator gel. Seven point something. was it 8 point something there? $7.3 there. $8.4. Eight point something. Bet the scale's going to time out now. 7.7. $8.8, I think it was. It's around 8 point something. Just try to keep the scale from timing out. There was a 9 there, 9.2 it looked like, 9.2 maybe. $8.2 there. Alright, I'm going to start with the ultras now. I didn't see what that was. It looked like it could have been a 9, but I checked the video. 7 point something. $9.1. So, I don't know. What I'm probably going to do is put the number up on the screen for you. Nine point something. $7.9. $9 point something. Didn't even see that one, but I'll edit it in the video. 9 point something again. I've crushed a lot of gels a lot of times, and I don't know whether it's the weather or the whatever, but all these gels seem to be harder than anything I've ever crushed, and I don't know. I have no explanation. Either way. Ah, 6.8, that one. That's just goes to show that sometimes you'll get a really hard one, and then you'll get one that's not as hard. So I mean, that's why we take averages. There was something above 8 there. I thought I saw 8.7. It may have flashed 9 something. Alright, put the ultras away. We'll move on to the X-Force Black Label. Here we go. 6.9. 7.1. 6 point something. 7.4, I think that was. Seven point zero. Refer the video. Check the video ref on that one. Six 6.4. Seven point something. Seven point two. Seven point one. Seven 7.5. Seven 7.3. Alright, let's move on to the new batch of AKAs. 6.1. 6.4. 6 point something. Five 5.9. 6.6. 6.8. 5.8. Six point three. Six point two. Five point two. Alright, let's do the original AKA batch. Seven point six. Six point seven. Six point five. Six point four, I think. Six point eight. Five point nine. Five point three. 5.2. 5.7. 5.2. 7.7. All right. Alright, that is a lot of crushed gels, and my opinion, if you're interested, is that the Gladiators and the Ultras are pretty much the same, and the AKAs, new batch, old batch, and the X-Force ones are also pretty much the same. There was, you know, I don't know what else to say. There's a few different batches, a lot of people claiming some batches are better than other batches, or this newer batch is not as good as the older batch, and the older batch is whatever. I find that generally testing them, they're all pretty much the same. They're all more or less very, very similar. These two are obviously the hardest. These ones are also hard, but not quite as hard. They're harder than your average Milkies and whatnot, but not as hard as these two. Now, is hardness the greatest thing in the world? Like, do you want them really hard? That's another question that you've got to ask. I mean, personally, I have found a lot of people prefer the AKAs and whatnot over the Ultras and the Gladiators. Alright, well, I mean, that's all I got time for this video. But stay tuned, because I am going to do another video after this one where I actually measure consistency and inconsistency in sizes between the different batch. And I'm going to show you how to make your own size sorter as well. I'm finding more and more with these harder gels that you do need to sort for size, because if you've got a inconsistently sized Gladiator or Ultra that catches in your T-piece or whatever, in the past with softer gels it would just get squashed and the next one would come through, but with these harder ones, they do, if something goes wrong, they do jam up. So if you get a double feed or a gel that's too big, they will jam up. So tighter tolerances are required for the harder gels, and I will obviously in the next video show you how you can filter your gels for size. Alright, peace.